I dive deep into the data, yeah, I'm in a letter. Got my mind on the way, so I'm always back to ball. Surfalytics is my game, I'm a data engineer. Shredding these algorithms, don't need an interfere. Ride the waves of information, I'm on a mission. Collecting insights with precision, no animation.
Hello, it's Dmitry Anoshin and welcome to Surfalytics. Today we'll talk about Integrated Development Environment, or IDE. So, what is a IDE and why do we need this? So, IDE helps us to write and edit the code, or maybe browse the files of the code, or just the regular files. So, and I don't want to go in details what is IDE. Doesn't really matter right now, but I will show you several of the most popular IDEs, and you just need to pick one and just learn and use it for every related work, for the Surfalytics course that we're going to do, either for data analyst job or for data engineering job. Yeah, we always need the IDE because we need to write the code, and we need to convenient place to write the code or edit the code or see the code and work with the many files. The first option we have is Visual Studio Code. So Visual Studio Code is developed by Microsoft, and this is probably one of the most popular tool out there, and it's free. It works for all platforms, and I will download for Mac because we're gonna use it and set up, and I will show you quickly how we can set up and what's important. Alternative, and one of the benefit of this thing, because it's unified, it works with all kind of languages, it has many plugins, there is big community and marketplace with the apps. So for example, you work with SQL, there is different things that can help you write the SQL better. You work with CSV files, you want to spreadsheets, you want with the Python notebooks, you can do everything from this. And it's integrated with Git systems and with many other things. So it's very convenient, very efficient, highly recommend. Alternative is PyCharm. So PyCharm is the product of JetBrains, and they're really well known for their tools. For example, for developers, they have the, I forgot exact the name, but it's IntelliJ IDE. So this was their primary, the most popular tool. They also have very good SQL client, data grip, but you need to buy the license to use them. So that's the downside. And the PyCharm also quite good, but for me, I stick Visual Code, and it's cover all my needs. Some hardcore developers who like to work with command line interface, CLI, they might use Vim, or they might use Emacs. So, and this is old school, hardcore things. You definitely can learn it, but if you work with them, I will cover a bit in my CLI starter course about Vim and Nano Reductor, and also command line interface CLI. But yeah, just you may know that they exist. Apart from IDE, you might need to have the text editor. For Mac, I found that Sublime Text is really powerful, very easy to use, and it also you can even use it as an IDE. But I just use it as a text editor. And for the Windows, the NotePad++, highly recommend you this NotePad if you work on the Windows machine as alternative to Sublime. Yeah, that's it. Now let's do the work with Visual Studio Code. I just downloaded it, and hopefully I can see it downloaded in my downloads folder. Just use it from here. So then I open this. First of all, you can choose the theme. You can have the dark or light. And apparently all developers prefer the dark theme. So I think if you will start right away from the dark theme, it's like extra points to your knowledge, and like you looks more engineerish. But honestly, it doesn't really matter. I used to work many years with the light theme. Eventually I switched to the dark, and I found that I like the dark more. So here it will suggest you, okay, you can choose the theme, whatever you like. I think I used to work with this one. Here we can see what languages extensions we want attach, and for example, this is our marketplace for the apps. We'll look this. So here we have extra settings that we don't need anything right now. We have also options to sync our configurations among different devices we have. There is a command palette that we need to use this keyboard shortcut. In my case, it's a Shift Command P on the Mac. And here, if we add any kind of app, so we can find it here. We can basically, how it works, we can open the folder or we can create the new folder and start our project. And also it has lots of tutorials. And here they can give you idea like what you can do, and you can learn extra things. So we will have dedicated video about terminal, and we will have dedicated video about Git. You also can create your own shortcuts. Okay, we done. So let's create. We can open new window, or we can open the folder. What I can do here, I can go to my user and I create the folder, for example, and call it IDE. And this is how it looks. It always asks trust. Here we can trust the authors. So here we don't have anything. We just have the blank explorer of the files. We can create the new files. For example, I can create the new file, and I can write. This is where we can work with the code and save the code, and then in future we can connect to Git systems, or we can open the terminal. But right now we don't want to do anything with terminal. We will have dedicated lesson about terminals. Here, this is where we can install the plugins. So it has many recommended. So it obviously we need install the Python. We can use the, for example, if you want Jupyter notebooks, we can install, and you always can see, okay, how many people already download this thing. Is many people download it, maybe it's worth to download it. Whereas could be, in the past, I used to work with Grammarly, but I think the new version, it's shut down. It was really nice to check the correctness of code and everything, and just the words. The one thing I want to show you, so for example, if I also create the folder here, you see it doesn't have the icon of the folder. Maybe we can try another file and say it's a python.py file. So it has. So okay, we choose the theme and the color theme. The next step, what we want to do, we want to go to settings and choose the file icon theme. So it's using default one, and we can install additional one. And this is quite popular. We can use like the most popular, or we can use visual. I usually use VSCode icons. So we can install it, and we can apply it. And we can see like the folder now have the icons. So it's now better for us, more convenient. What else we have here with IDE? So apart from terminal, we don't need anything else. And during the course, we will use this a lot. You may download the new plugins, depends on the services and products we're going to use. We may integrate it with the cloud. We may integrate with dbt or maybe with Snowflake because it has so many different plugins here. So, for example, if I choose search for dbt with dbt power user, if I choose the Snowflake, there is the Snowflake. If I choose for GitHub, there is GitHub Autopilot. For example, I'm curious, do they have chat GPT? Yeah, they have chat GPT. And I think you need to have the API key, and then you can use it. One last step, what you need to do is to do this. So this command, it's like alias that you can write in terminal, and it will open the files or the directory with everything you need in the new Visual Code window. So we just need to install it, but in my case I need to fix the permissions, but in your case it should work. So you just install it, and then you write code and dot, and it should open the new window. So in my case, it actually already works because from another user, I already installed this, and it works. So, and this is how it works, and it's basically open the same project. Yeah, that's it that you need to know about IDE, and you just need to have it. And over the course, we will come to here to modify the files or maybe create the files, because most of the works and the projects I will store in GitHub repo, and this is the place that you can sync with repo. And for example, you're gonna do your homework, you will save result in the Git, and we will learn what's the development lifecycle look like. Then you create the copy of the production version of the code, you do some changes, and you publish it back. Yeah, and since we're here, I can quickly show you what's Sublime, how it looks. It's really powerful. It has many things what you can do, many shortcuts. For example, yeah, we can do the text with some shortcuts that allow you, for example, to extend whatever we choose, like from one line to all 5 lines, and there are many shortcuts. And overall, then we work with terminal, IDE. It's very good to know shortcuts. It's very powerful and save lots of time. So I hope that was helpful. You just need to download Visual Code, install it, choose the theme, get the icons theme, and make sure that the code works in terminal. That's it. Thank you.